Welcome to the RIP 28 podcast. This is the RIP 28 podcast. It's a podcast where a few friends get together and we talk about a few things. Now, some of those things you might like, some of those things you might not like, but we keep on talking about them on the RIP 28 podcast. I am your world's most favorite host, joined by a few of my good friends. As always, we start off with the president. What's going on, El Presidente?
Well, good people, what's cracking today? Cina's in the building as always. Let's get it popping.
What's going on, El Presidente?
Well, good people.
All right, on the other side, we got our man, our favorite teacher's favorite teacher. What's going on, El Boogie?
Yo, boys, Beezy the GOAT, your favorite teacher here to get it in one more good time with the RIP 28 podcast. Let go.
All right, we got a special guest. We got one of my most favorite Spelman nights. I don't know. Did you say Spelman night? I don't know. That's the right way to say it. I don't know. But whatever. We got Fairfield County's favorite daughter, the one and only Miss Quanna. How you doing, Quanna?
Hi, everybody. I'm here representing Fairfield by way of Blythewood, South Carolina, a Spelman alum. Shout out to all my Spelman sisters that may be watching. Let's go, y'all.
All right. Glad to have you here, man. On the RIP 28 podcast, man, we talk about a lot of shit, man. We just try to figure out what's going on. Like I said, it's a podcast where we talk about a few things. Some of those things you might like, some of those things you might not like, but we keep on talking about them. And what's going on now, man? I guess in the current world, what just happened, man, this youth football coach got killed on the field, man. You know, all of us former athletes, all of us coach youth sports at one time. LeBron coaching high school right now, you know, so all of us got a little bit of experience. But seeing a dude get shot over a youth football game. So the dude gets shot over a youth football game. That's kind of crazy, man. Who know exactly what happened? You know exactly what happened, bro?
Yeah, something got out of hand and the referee at the end of the game,
Apparently.
you know, I guess
Yeah.
I guess they got upset because of some calls that was made and their team did not win. So at the end of the game, one of the referee was trying to tell him, you know, man, the game over, is kids, you know, everybody going their separate way. And all of a sudden, allegedly, Aqib Talib swung on the coach. And his brother allegedly shot the coach, and coach died, man.
Craziness, man. Crazy. Like what? One of their kids playing or what? You know, y'all know.
I don't know all of the background on it, but I do know I don't care if their kids were playing or not. That don't give you no right to act like no fool, man. That don't give. I mean, you supposed to be this NFL, one of the best, you know, to do it. And you're supposed to be all for the kids. At the end of the day, I think a lot of parents and spectators, they lose sight that it's just a game and it's really about the kids, man. Not about you and how good you were. Don't live through these kids, man. Give them a chance to grow, man, and teach them the right way.
Man, you hit the nail right on the head, man. A lot of times, man, it's about these parents trying to live their football dreams through these kids. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened. You get a little bit of ego tied up. And then a lot of people get mad at these refs, but these ain't no professional refs. These dudes who got a real 9 to 5, you know what I'm saying? They just
a volunteer.
They're making $30 a game. You know?
Is that?
you know, right. And now you all up on a ref at a little kid's game, and you know these tempers get the flame. First of all, why are you carrying a pistol to a little league game?
Right.
To start off with, that's the one I can't figure out. You know, it's crazy, man. When my oldest was playing youth ball, our games were over on the west side of Atlanta, city of Atlanta games, and we was in, you know, tough neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? It was a tough area out there playing, but as long as we was out there, I don't remember any fights breaking out between the parents. You know what I'm saying? And that's west side Atlanta. But But now, I mean, you got I don't know, man. These cats, I don't know what to say, man. How can you not just let a little league football game get you to that path, man? What up, Tara? See Tara out there in the chat.
It's crazy because usually it's the parents who ain't never played who got them high expectations. I'm surprised that he's actually an NFL player. I don't know what the brother did or whatever, but he was somebody who should understand that this is how the game is played, or things happen like this. He got all that experience, but that was weird to me that it was somebody like that who would do something like that. It's usually people who don't know what the heck they're talking about. You know what I mean?
But what happened to a good old fist fight though? We're not in those times no more. We're not in those times. It's definitely a gun right at the forefront of everything. It's not about teaching our kids that's playing games, even if you had disagreements, whether we on the block throw some hands, but no, that's not it anymore. It's definitely go get the gun.
Folks ain't taking no loss no more.
Yeah, that's true.
You get beat up, you gotta do something about it. That's how they think,
But the thing about it, we keep saying this is our future. These kids are our future. But what are we teaching? What are we teaching our future? Mm-hmm. As soon as something happens, everybody be talking about, I'm a grown man, I'm a grown ass woman. Mm-hmm. Well, conduct yourself as such. And if it's a disagreement, everybody know in football, sports in general, it's going to be bad calls. There's going to be calls that go for your team. There's going to be calls that go against your team. These are still humans, and they make mistakes. And I know as a coach, I'll be on the referee, but I've never thought once to go get a gun and shoot a referee, even in the high school level. You know what I'm saying? People crazy, man.
Yeah, LeBron, I done seen you get into some coaches behind on the sidelines before.
now you're right about that, but that's it. I'm gonna get it. But after the game, man, I'm gonna dap them up and say, "Hey, coach, good game, man. You know how I go, young lady. You know how I go." But I ain't gonna fight them over the game. I mean, it's crazy, man. Back in the day, I didn't watch my boy Sly whoop up some of the best of them. You know what I'm saying? On and off the field, Sly. But man, it's just a different day and time now in general.
Just think how many people that traumatized that day, man.
Oh man.
Like some of them kids, like, man, I ain't playing football no more. I bet you, they I can't go back out there. They probably with PTSD type of thing. Every time they go out there, they see that scene in their head. Some folks gonna have to get some counseling. People in the stands probably traumatized too. It's crazy, man. That ain't just affect the dude that got shot, and then his family, of course, and then the after effect on the people who did it, but then everybody else around too, man. It's crazy. Man,
he killed their youth. Some of those kids, he killed their youth. I mean, it ain't a lifetime go by. You don't see nobody get killed. And these kids are whatever age, I'm guessing 12 and under, and you see somebody that you care about, that you would see on every day, and you don't know how this coach had affected other kids' lives. Obviously, he cared about it because he ain't getting paid for it.
They say he was the dude who got killed was a lifetime coach. They say he been coaching for years. He done, so all the kids he done had these past years, man. He done affected, changed all these kids' lives just to be snatched away from a dude who done lost his cool, man. Mm-hmm. But coaching youth football is something different. Like you said earlier, Brian, you said it's a volunteer thing. Nobody get paid to coach youth football. Youth sports like that at that young age, man. You do it because you love the game. You do it because you got a kid who playing, Mm-hmm. You do it because you want to teach kids the right way. And, those should be the reasons you want to do it. But, man, it's a lot of things that come along with youth football that I learned, at 30 years old when I first started doing it. I was about 30, 32 when I first started coaching youth sports, man. And the organization that I coached under, we had a team meet, a coaches meet. Because with youth football, you got, depends on how big your organization is. You might have the Joe Blow Park Redskins or something like that, and you're gonna have a 12 and under team, 11 under, 10 and under, all the way down to 6 and under. You're gonna have all of these teams. So you got all these coaches, they all under one umbrella. So what these youth organizations do, what my youth organization did, they had a coaches meeting to start the season out. That coaches meeting, they laid down a lot of rules. They laid down the rules and the standards and the expectations of the program. And, a lot of them expectations start off with, yes, we want to teach sportsmanship. We want.
Before you go, what was the number one rule?
Oh, number one rule was don't fuck none of these mamas.
Oh, they try. No, they try. That's your mama, boy. Oh, don't let it be a single mama. Oh, that's your mama. Come here, let me talk to you about your son a little bit.
I always want to talk to you, and I always want to talk to you. Hey, if you want to play, boy, tell your mama to call.
I'm gonna tell you some stuff that might get somebody mad. But in youth football, the best or the worst thing that can happen to your team is a single mom. She could be the best or the worst thing that could happen to your team. And then if you get a single mom who don't know nothing about football, oh Lord, she could be the best. Because, like, let's say if you're a lady who don't know nothing about football, never played football before, don't know, you just know the man who scored a touchdown, everybody clap for him. And you say, well, I want my son to score touchdown. Well, your son is 5 foot at 10 years old. He 4'8", 200 pounds. No, your son playing offensive line for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? He ain't no.
He just described himself. Slide just described himself.
So it is. Now you do have some of the single moms. Now I've been blessed to run into some great football moms, who work with me and who sit out there, have all the water set up, the drinks, the orange slices, and all that type of stuff for you. You know what I'm saying? Who help the program out. But you run into some of them. I had one lady. You do the little preseason camp or whatever. You let the kids start practicing in August. First, you do a couple of scrimmages. I had a kid show up to the first practice we had. I ain't seen the little motherfucker in about 2 weeks. We play a scrimmage. He show up to the scrimmage. And I'm like, I don't know who this kid, I don't know who the kid is. I don't know what position he play. I don't know nothing. So obviously he's not going to play that much. So it's the first half, the first quarter gone by. He ain't got in. I hear some lady on the sideline, let my boy play. How come you ain't letting my boy play? I don't know. And first of all, I don't even know who her boy is. I don't know who her boy is. I ain't got nothing but, I got 17 kids on the team. I'm like, man, this the first quarter, man. Let me work this little dude in. So she all just yelling at my assistant coach. I'm like, oh, she talking about such and such. I'm like, oh, who is such a? You're like, oh, he played on another squad last year. I'm like, dude, ain't been to practice. And he's like, yeah, I don't know. He's like, what position he play? I don't know. I go and ask the little boy, what position you play? He say, they line me up and I used to block people. And I'm like, oh shit. I don't know what to do with this kid.
At least I ain't say quarterback. Throw me in that quarterback.
So you get a kid like that now with Little League, you want to hide the kid. So I put him in that wide receiver and put him on the other side of the field, and we run the ball on the other side to the opposite way. Let him play like that. Then the mama come up to me after the game. How come you ain't let my boy play? I say, first of all, you ain't been to practice. Well, I got work to do. We ain't have to go to practice all the time. I said, well, this year we're doing something different. This year you're going to have to go to practice. I'm going to try this. This is going to be something new. We're going to try to let the kids go to practice this year. See if they can play. All right. She come to practice the next day. Find out the little kid, he played tight end where he was at the last time. He's a decent athlete. He could catch. So I'm like, okay, cool. Line him up at tight end. I'm expecting him to come. Mug, rest of the week, he ain't show up. We got a scrimmage on Saturday. He ain't show up to the scrimmage. We got another practice on Monday and Wednesday and Thursday. He show up again on Thursday. I'm like, oh, damn, brother, where you been? Oh, well, I was just at home. My mom ain't feel like bringing me to practice. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what we're dealing with this year.
So ain't nobody think to go and help. See, my thing with youth sports is oftentimes what people don't talk about is the negative impact that it does to some children. We definitely talk about all the time positive, 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 how we have these great coaches. But there are sometimes that you don't have any great coaches. What about the parent who wanted their child to get involved in youth sports to keep them out of trouble, but then they go to this game and witness a murder or witness these coaches doing all this different type of things and experience, and these children are experiencing these? What about the negative part about this? That's oftentimes what people don't talk about.
Some coaches out there that's straight cut your kid out at 8 years old.
Yes, and what about the kids who have never been even experienced all of that cussing or cussed out before? Then does that really build a child up? Some children it may build them up, and some children it may build them down.
Hey, mom, that's a part of that's a part of coaching. I'm gonna tell you now.
But what does he do? We don't talk about that. We don't talk about the negative impact that it may have.
But it may have a negative impact, and I'm gonna keep on doing it. But that ain't the point. The point is
you coach high school, man.
No,
you coach high school. You don't coach no 8 and 9 year old. You're not gonna cuss a 7-year-old out.
I didn't. Hold on. Who? What?
You gonna cuss a 7-year-old out?
Hold on. Let's put it in. I started off I didn't always coach high school. Like Sly said, I started when I was in college. I was coaching. Back home, I would come back for the summer and coach basketball and the little kids baseball. I don't say you curse them out, but you talk to them in a stern way.
Yeah,
right.
You don't have to curse them out.
That's a difference in the cuss out and talking in a stern way, though.
But when they get 10 years old, they get a full curse.
That's double digits. They're ready.
You better call the kids all type of names. Some of them may not even been experienced those names just yet.
Grown up.
And now all of a sudden they around here cussing. Where you get that cussing from? My coach.
Quanna, you done been around me coaching the kid. The players love LB. Don't.
But what about the coaches that don't do such a good job?
But you gotta put that foundation down though. They don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. You gotta show them that you care first, and then you cuss them out. You don't just cuss them out the first day. So you gotta build that up.
Work your way up too.
Yeah, I mean, you know how to do it, but there's some people who don't know the game, and then when you mess up, they cut you out because they think you done messed up. Well, they ain't never taught you how to do what they asking. You know what I'm saying?
But as a disclaimer to all my parents that I train and I work with and I coach your kids, I'm just playing. Coach LB love the kids. I love the kids. But now on a serious note though, we talking about high school. It's no better in high school. I'm gonna tell you now. I heard a parent Friday night, and I won't say where and what was going on.
No, it was. We know it was.
No, it was not, sir. Come on, don't do that. Well, you're a snitch. What boy, y'all snitching, boy. But anyway, I was at a game, man, and the parent was, I mean, when I say belligerent, from the opening, I mean, it didn't matter what was going on in the game, just belligerent. And then you got parents that meet you by the locker room unexpectedly. They jumping out, hey coach, why you? And you like, whoa, now we off the field now. I ain't coach right now. You know. So I think parents need to take a lesson in how to approach a coach, and they may need to call them Saturday morning, because Friday night they heated. Then in the heat of the moment, they want to know why little Sylvester didn't play, and why the twins didn't get in, and you're gonna come off in a way, and the coach gonna come off in a way, especially if we lost. So I think everybody just need to calm down before you approach people, because at the end of the day, we still humans, whether we're a coach, player, or parent.
The worst thing.
It's funny you say that, man. I just did a interview. I interviewed 3 basketball coaches in Georgia. Three of the winningest male basketball coaches in Georgia. Matter of fact, they just released it. We just released it today. And they had this same conversation about dealing with parents on how you deal with parents. And one of the coaches say, I don't talk to them after the game. If it's after game, every parent knows not to talk to me because whatever you're going to say to me after the game is going to be in the heat of the moment. And I'm going to be in the heat of the moment. So 9 times out of 10, it ain't going to be a good conversation. They say, if you got something to say to me, let's wait till the morning. Wait till the morning, go to sleep on it so you can think about what you want to say, get your thoughts together, and then come to me and talk to me about it. And I think that's a great philosophy.
That's something you got to set up at the beginning of the season because
There you go.
For
There
sure.
you go.
For sure. You can't get mad in the middle of the season because of something didn't want to implement a rule that should have been at the beginning, or whatever. Now there are some people more than we may think that knows how to handle conversations that may be tough. We have those tough conversations or can be highly emotional or highly sensitive, as most people say. You do have some people who are able to carry on those conversations. But then again, you have to set precedents to know, hey, I'm a person that we could talk about. This coach is a person, maybe some parents will say, hey, I know not to talk to this coach, but let me go talk to this one over here, because this one is a little bit more level-headed than the other one over there. But then again, that's the whole point of coaches learning the parents and parents learning the coaches as well.
But you do that at the beginning every year, even if you got returning parents, you got to go and set that precedent because they know after the game, I'm the girls coach at a high school in South Carolina. And they know during the boys' game, I'm sitting away from everybody. I'm going to the emptiest part of the gym, and I'm gonna sit there, whether we win or lose. I don't want to hear no negativity at the moment. I don't want to hear what I could have done better because your daughter probably, like the little fella Sly was talking about, hadn't been at practice. She missing free throws. She the one turned the ball over, mom. And I don't want to get into that with you in the gym. So like Sly said, go sleep on it, both parties, coach and mom, or a player if you have an issue, and try to resolve it that way because you just can't talk to folk any kind of way.
Hey, the worst thing is when you got one of them parents that's right on the gate, and after every time their kid come out or something, they got to coming up to the gate talking to them.
There you go.
I'm like, hey, you can't do that. I'm like, you ain't coaching. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what we told them to do. You gonna tell them something totally different, and mess up everything because you think you know what you're talking about.
And that's my thing. I'm glad you brought that up, Chance. I'm glad you brought it up. Sitting on the gate coaching. In my little league experience, man, we had the rule that, and see another thing, you got to have that. Hey, Stacey, we see you out there. We see you out there, Amp. You had the rule after, you know what I'm saying? We met with all the parents. Each coach had to meet with his team, his parents, and set this up in the beginning. But the rule was for my kid, what I told my kids is because in Little League, I only had 18, 17 people on my team. You know what I'm saying? So I just got 6 people on the bench. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I need all 6 of y'all to be close to me, touching. I can reach out and get you. When you come out this game, if you go to that fence, you stay on that fence. Don't come back over here. And sometimes you got to make a believe out of it. You know what I'm saying? Your words ain't going to be strong enough. You got to make a believe. So I had a kid, his daddy, his daddy actually was a high school coach. His daddy was a high school coach, a head coach of a high school, and was a successful guy. But when he would come out the game, he was going to run over to his dad. Well, one time he ran over to his dad, and I really paid attention. I saw what he was doing. So I said, all right, stay over there. Don't come back. And his dad was like, what you talking about? What you talking about? I say, when your kids come out the game, do they go and talk to their daddy on the sideline? And he was like, nah, but it's high school. I say, nah, but we getting them ready for high school. So
right. Thank you.
Keep him over there, and he'll sit over there with you and chill out, and I'll see him on practice on Monday.
hey, Sly one of them kind. He really said, hey, I'm his daddy now.
Well, speaking of daddies, did y'all see that dad that paid the $500 child support?
Oh, that video going out, man. It's a video going out right there now. It's a dude that I think he secretly recorded his wife. And what was being said, the dad was talking about he wanted to buy his kids some shoes. He wanted to buy his kids some shoes or something like that. And his wife was telling him, no, you pay $500 in child support. You're not supposed to go and buy your kid.
He called for some shoes, I believe. He called and asked his dad.
Was it his wife or his girlfriend?
No, that was his wife.
Yeah, his actual wife. Okay.
Yeah, it was his actual wife.
Does that make a difference?
That make a big difference.
That make a huge difference.
Oh yeah, it makes a big difference.
But it was his wife. It was his wife saying, don't go and buy that kid any shoes. Now that's woo.
That's tough.
Well, what is the baby mama doing with them $500?
It don't matter.
It
It does not matter. It doesn't matter.
It matters. It does matter.
It doesn't matter, because I'm gonna tell you, if she is a person who receives child support for that child, right? Let me give you an example. Me, if it was just me and I didn't have kids, I probably could still be in a 1-bedroom apartment, because I have to make sure that I have a house and have these kids in here, their own rooms. The amount of gas that I spend taking them from one place to another, all of that is not even included in child support. All these other things, we go in Target. Can I get this gift? Can I get this? Can I just pick this up? All the stuff the school sent home. We need $25 for this. We need $15 for this. $500 is a small thing to a giant. So if she doesn't have the amount of money this time, or she used the $500 with her normal monthly bills or however she does that, and if she can't afford his pair of shoes, and even depending on the relationship that the child and the father have, what's wrong with the child being able to say, hey daddy, can you give me some money to get some shoes? Obviously the child wanted the shoes. We know it ain't going to her for the shoes.
Check out.
Pause
For 1 second. We got somebody in the comment who hit it on the head.
What?
What you saying makes sense, but some women are trifling.
Yeah. You talking as a good baby mama.
Because I am who I am. Whatever. I would tell you, I'm a single mom and I get it. But I'm telling you, there are a lot of things that
how your baby daddy is. You got a good baby daddy or not?
Mine got a crappy, very crappy. But what I do
we only hear one side of the story.
No, it doesn't.
One side of the story.
No. It doesn't matter, because regardless of if he pays it or not, I'm still rocking with my kids. I'm still getting what they want. If I gotta get 2-3 jobs so we don't even have to call that nigga to give us some shoes, that's what we do. That's what we do. I don't have to go back and forth and wonder if he's gonna give it. If he doesn't, don't give it. We don't worry about it.
We only hear one side of the story.
Hey, I'm gonna have to agree with Quanna on this one. Given that even if the mama's not, that's still my child, regardless.
Yeah.
And when he go out, he representing me. So I ain't gonna send my kid out with nothing I wouldn't wear. So if I'm gonna wear J's, I'm have my son in J's. If I'm gonna wear polo, it don't even matter
if it's J's. If it's a regular pair of Air Force Ones.
I know, but
I'm getting
my point. Hold on, I'm agreeing with you. Hold on, I'm on your side. I'm on your side. Just hold on. Hear me out. Whatever I'm wearing is good enough for my son. I'm not gonna go out here and wear something and then be like, well, I gave your mama such and such, and you gotta wear them busted up shoes.
Yep.
Or you're gonna have to go hungry this time. Or you're not gonna be able to go on that school trip or play this. Nah, I'm with Quanna. I'm a rock with my child when nobody else.
Hey, first of
regardless what his mama do.
Who paid $500 in child support?
Exactly. And if he only paying $500, she needs some money to give that child some shoes.
Hey,
how much y'all know that you can only take care of a child off of $500 a month? Come on now.
Man, my son eats $500.
How many kids?
Eat $500.
Hey, how many kids you got though?
It don't matter. One child is still $500 is not enough for one.
Is she getting 500 for him, 700 for somebody else, 1,200 for somebody else? You know. See, we don't know that.
Here go the thing, man, and I preach this all the time, man. Oh, they go Nala Molly face in the comments. I preach this
LeBron.
I preach this all the time, man. You need to know who you fucking. Know who you taking the rub off with.
But that's not necessarily. They'll show them one. They'll show one side of you, and once that baby comes, stuff changes, and you'll see a whole different side. You can't necessarily go on that all the time.
If you say your baby daddy ain't shit, you seen signs when he was fucking you without a rubber. You fucked him more than once without a rubber, ain't it? Huh?
That doesn't necessarily mean. I mean,
the first time.
I'd have held him down.
That doesn't necessarily be because they could show you one person and then they could be completely fraud and show you somebody else after that child. So
what you saying is you are a bad judge of character. That's what you're saying.
Probably what happened is I'm a person that should have been more analytical in my eyes.
Here you go. This a common thing. Women will not take blame for their mistakes. Women won't take blame for their mistakes.
Well, let me pause there. So that go both ways now. So dudes, they do the same thing. They both had the baby now. So
exactly.
It's him too. Like if somebody he didn't want to be with or not gonna be with or choose not to try to make it work, that's on him too. So,
but he ain't accusing her of being a baby mama. He ain't talking shit about her.
Hey,
he can't. He can't.
Hey, but here go my thing, man. It all, you need to know who you fucking. You know what I'm saying? It's serious, and especially if a dude got other children. If he got other children before yours, you know what I'm saying? There's certain judgments you got to take in place.
So
I do agree. Hey, I do agree with Sly to that point. If he or she had a child before you and they didn't do right, I got you. But still, at the end of the day, regardless of what, who ain't with my child, I gotta ride with mine. I don't care. Mm-hmm. If you say you're gonna divorce me, like she said, or you can go and be wherever you want to be, okay, well, that let me know you ain't with me because you ain't with my child.
That's right.
On the real.
Hey, so raise your hand if you ain't never had sex with somebody that you wouldn't want to have a baby with.
Always pulled out.
Raise your hand.
Always made.
Raise your hand.
Always made the precautions that she wouldn't get pregnant if I had sex. I done had sex with a lot of questionable bitches. I done knocked off a lot of questionable ones, but I made sure I didn't get them pregnant.
Man,
ain't no way to make sure.
It ain't. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you can't. I mean, things happen sometimes. You just can't always say that now.
Right.
You be real sweet to them in the morning, cook them breakfast.
Hey,
crush that Plan B up in the eggs.
Hey, shut up, fool. Hey, Slide. T-Bright said, thank God I didn't crap out every time I gambled. Talking about growth. He rolling the dice.
Exactly, man.
But Terrell, he's 75 years old talking about growth.
But check this out. At the end of the day, it's about maturity, man. It's about if whether you want to have was a good judge of character or not. Once my child is here, I'm doing everything I gotta do. I don't care about no $500.
That's real.
I don't know. I mean, I'm a ride with mine when it ain't nobody.
This is one instance though. Who said that he ain't been giving them shoes and all that stuff all
it don't matter. His son called him and asked him. It said,
but it ain't him though. It was we talking about his wife.
Right.
It don't matter. That's what I'm saying. I don't care who ain't with him. Once she said you ain't gonna go and do this because you paid $500, you can go and beat deuces. What are we talking about? Because I can stand alone.
So you're gonna divorce her because of that?
If she ain't with my child, you're right. And see, here go another thing. Here go another thing. What I was talking about, choosing your partners. he ain't make a good decision in choosing his wife. If you already got this kid before you get married, you need to know how she feels about your
I
children.
agree with that. Yeah.
You know what
But
I'm saying?
here again, she can put on her front
It ain't that
and
big
make
of a
it
deal.
seem as though she's all for it, all for the kids. She's all lovey-dovey. And then when stuff gets tough, she'd have turned all the way around.
But that's
Sometimes
what
people do that.
that's where I disagree. I'm with Sly on that, Quanna. Everybody shows signs of who they are.
They
It's
do.
only so long a fake G can pretend.
Mhm.
Eventually you're gonna show your hand. No matter how good your poker face is.
But
You
how
gonna sh-
long though? That could be, you
It
could
ain't-
have already been had a baby by time if he starts showing his hands. If he don't show his hand until 2 years or however, if she don't start showing her hand until after you get married, sometimes it's too late. Yeah,
I
they're
think
gonna start, but it may be later down the line.
Well, I think they show it. I just think sometimes we might not want to see it.
Or we ignore some of the
Or
signs.
we ignore it. Yeah, we ignore it, like Sly said. But at the end of the day, just take care of your responsibility. I know it's hard sometimes,
That's real.
but at the end of the day, man, nobody's gonna tell me what I can do and what I can't do for my child.
As always, you know, we don't know a lot about this story. What have he got?
Right.
8 more kids. Can he afford to pay for this dude?
Well,
Pay for
what
it.
we do know it was
And you know
one.
you're paying child support.
We knew it was one, and she said, "No, you can't do it."
Because like Chance brought up, there's some variables that come into the situation we don't know about. Only thing we know is he paying $500, and to be quite honestly, that ain't a lot of money. That ain't a lot of money. If he don't have, now let's say he paid $500 and he got joint custody, then I can understand
Nah, I can't.
the wife. If you got joint custody, if you got the kid half the time, she got the kid half the time, and you still paying $500, see?
We not talking about a trip. We talking about something for this child. He wants some
Hey,
shoes.
that's why you split things 50-50.
No.
That's why you split when it
No.
comes to your
No.
child.
What? What?
When it comes to your child, you split
Nah.
split things 50-50. And see, a lot depends on your relationship.
No, we don't split the left side of the hamburger and then split the right
Yeah.
side of the hamburger.
Yeah, we do.
You don't pay the right side shoe and I pay the left side.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, and see, the thing is, it's about relationships. It's about relationships. And with my ex-wife, we have a good relationship when it comes to spending money on my son. All right. If something needs to be done, my son, like lunch money. I have joint custody. I have my son 1 week. My wife has him the next week. When school started, he was with my wife. So my ex-wife. So she paid for lunch money. She paid $50 for the lunch money. So what I did, I sent her, she said lunch was $50. So I sent her $25, because he my son.
Right.
It's
But that's lunch.
too much.
We're not talking about shoes.
When it comes to shoes, when it comes to clothes, we don't get into that. I just go school shopping and I just buy him clothes and she buys him clothes. She buys him clothes,
Hey, Sly, you know he eat more than $50 worth of food, dog. So you know he eat $50 more worth of food.
Yeah.
That was just
I'm
the
talking
lunch
about
beat.
school lunch. I'm talking about school lunch. But
you need two of them.
the way it works though, and we have a good situation. The way it works, if something comes up and he needs something, one of us will buy it. Whoever has it at that time will buy it, and the other person will just give it half when they got it. And maybe I live in a fairy tale. Maybe I live in a fairy tale world where it work out, but we operate like two adults.
Right, but everybody co-parent situation is different, right? And it doesn't say that they're not two adults. It's whatever works best for the family.
A lot of times
and 50-50 that doesn't work for my family. That doesn't work for my family because do you pay 50-50 Are these groceries that these kids eat every day? No. Do you pay 50-50 of every single thing that you do 50% of my gas when I'm taking these kids from point A to point B? No. That's kind of like my responsibility.
His gas when he take the kids?
No, that's not my responsibility. It's not his over here. He take care of whatever he has over there. I take care of whatever I have over here. He pay his child support whenever he decide he paying. I take it and that's what it is. That's my arrangement here. Everybody else's arrangement can be different, or whatever. But back to the wife though. If she ain't rocking, if my sons call their dad and say they want a pair of shoes, she need to stay out of it and let the son and the dad handle that. Bottom line, or whatever.
I agree with.
Bottom line.
The wife has a problem. The wife has a serious problem. Now we don't know their financial situation.
I don't care nothing about that. Divorce her.
But he go something else now.
Man, ain't nothing for me to talk. I ain't know something else when it comes to that.
We don't know their financial situation.
Man, that's my son. I will make a way. I'm gonna make a way foundation.
If he paying $500 a month, that means he doesn't have a good job where he can pay affordable.
That don't mean that. That don't mean that. Niggas get in the courtroom and lie all the time about the money that they make. That don't mean that. What y'all talking about?
Hey,
that don't mean that. What you talking about? They go in the courtrooms with doggone fake check stubs. What is y'all talking about? That don't mean that he ain't got no good job. That's the only thing that he reporting. He could be hustling, doing 50 million things on the side, making a whole bunch of money. That don't mean he ain't got no good job.
Or he could not.
Or he could not, but it doesn't mean that, but it's in the same effort. Does that mean if I don't have any money, right? If, hey, my check is short or I don't make good money, I have to find a way to feed them kids. I gotta find a way.
But here go the thing. This ain't feeding the kids. This is buying the kids.
This is buying clothes, and that's why I said I have to find a way to clothe them too.
Was the kid asking for a pair of $200 Jordans or a pair of $50 Reeboks?
We don't know.
See, it's a difference.
It's a difference.
Why is it a difference?
If he asking for a pair of $50 Reeboks, that man
asking for some Reeboks. No, ain't nobody want a Reeboks.
I just said Reeboks. I don't know.
Nobody want a Reeboks. Some kids want Jordans. They want some doggone LeBrons. They want everything.
People want a lot of things. That don't mean you need it.
Exactly.
Like that's a thing in life, man. That's a thing in life. Like, just because you don't live with me, don't mean I got to buy you everything that you want.
It doesn't, but it doesn't mean that I got to struggle because I don't live with my mama and my daddy.
They didn't say struggle, just says buy them some shoes.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't mean if my mama can't afford it and I want to say, hey, I want to call my daddy. Look, man, I'm calling my daddy. My daddy get me some shoes. I was like that growing up. I know my mama wasn't a big tennis shoe buyer. She just wasn't. Now she give me a heel or take me to get my hair done or something like that. Yeah. But tennis shoes, I ain't call my daddy. My daddy gonna buy some tennis shoes. I know my daddy love tennis shoes. He gonna buy some tennis shoes. His wife can't be, don't you buy no tennis shoes? Man, that's none of your business. That's between me and my daddy.
My thing, I ain't like LeBron. I ain't got all every Jordan in the catalog. I got regular shoes. You gonna get regular shoes too?
What's regular shoes though? What's regular shoes?
But $100. I'm not saying that you have to go and get Jordans. I'm just saying if my son called me right now and say, Daddy, I need or I want some shoes. Now, if I just got some, or if there's extenuating circumstances behind it,
everything they want, they don't get.
I'm only speaking about the wife.
Right.
She have no business.
Yeah.
Regardless of what me and my son got going on, there's not another woman that should be in my business.
Apparently,
about me and my son. That means my mama,
shoes, setting them back.
That means my mama, her mama, my girlfriend, or if I had whatever. If I had a wife, whatever, she is not dictating what I'm gonna do for my son and gonna hold marriage over my head. Boy, you crazy?
Apparently, them shoes is affecting their household.
Check this out.
Well, that's a problem. That's a problem in their relationship.
I know you got two grown people and a pair of shoes gonna affect your household.
Shout out to Erica Bell. We see you in the chat. I'm about to say something. For me personally, what Chance said, I'm not me growing up. I never been that big shoe person owning Jordans and stuff like that. I've never brought myself a pair of Jordans in my life. So I am so excited and so happy. My son is in the 8th grade and he wears size 12 now. Next year he gonna be a 13, so I'm gonna finally go and buy a pair of Jordans for him for his
You gonna rock them too?
And I'm gonna wear them goddamn Jordans. First time in my life. Soon as he get a size 13,
he said that now he gonna go to the store and be like, I ain't getting these.
Right. But we're in a different day and time than it was when you were growing up at that age now too. It's just in a different age of time.
And I like shoes, but the thing about it is I don't wear all of them. See, what people don't realize is the resale value on it is much higher than what I paid for it, because everybody can't get them like we had access to them in 1992 and when we was young, Sly. So now
I ain't have access to it.
I ain't have it, but man, cut it out. Man, cut it out. But the thing is, but the thing is, I got speaking of Jordans, I got a what's my man name? Bill Russell jersey. About 2 years ago. He just passed. They just emailed me, and guess what? They asked me to sell it back for $1,200. Six times what I paid for it. So I said no. So if you can get 12 for it, I know you finna go sell it for 3,000 or more. No, I'm good. I hold it.
What you not selling? You be selling?
No, I ain't selling nothing yet because it ain't the value ain't high enough yet. I ain't quite broke yet.
Enter the shoes or anything?
No, I ain't quite broke yet. Once I go broke, see that's my fallback plan. If I ever go broke, I'm gonna have a yard sale.
It ain't a matter of if you go broke; it's a matter of when.
Hold on, wait, whoa, Quanna, god dang, hold on. You know what I'm saying?
It's not what I'm trying to say is not broke, but have financial difficulties. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes people are going to experience difficult times when or some point of their life. So I don't want to say broke. That's the wrong terminology. Financial difficulties.
I ain't your baby daddy.
You said it right first. He gonna be broke.
I ain't your baby daddy, no.
So listen, y'all. So we can we collectively agree that the wife should stay out of it?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So if we could collectively agree that the wife should stay out of it,
right?
Can we discuss if the wife should feed the child first or the husband first in the household?
To feed that husband first.
Let me jump in on where this comes from, man. We had a classmate of ours. I don't know if we put her name out there, but whatever. She put a meme out there and it said, no child should receive a plate before the man of the house. And then her comment was, my child will always eat first, 100. That man can leave me and say, fuck me anytime he chooses. But my child will always be there for me. So yeah, shut the fuck up and wait till I fix blank plate. Now, how do y'all feel about who's supposed to eat first when it comes to serving somebody dinner in the house? Who's supposed to be the one to eat first?
I don't think it matters.
Me neither. I think it's whatever's good for your household. I really do.
Hey, you step up first. I mean, like, first of all, like, if we still in the days where you sitting at the table and somebody got to bring you your food, you can't go get your own food. You know what I'm saying?
But some women adore catering to their husbands or their significant other. They take pride in it. And they want to. And some husbands want their food to be fixed. They want the plate.
I want to cater to you.
You know what I see? Most of the time when it comes to when you see these comments on people who leave comments on these pages like that, a lot of times it's the single women, the women who aren't married, who say my child's gonna eat first. A lot of times it's the single women who say my child's gonna eat first. And it's the single men who say, I'm gonna eat first. Most of the time, the people who are married or have been married, they understand, the women understand that the man should eat first. But the husband usually says,
feed them kids first.
He'll feed the kid. And it's a sign of respect.
Respect.
And that's all it is. It's just a mutual respect. The woman understands that this man, you know, and all relationships are different. All relationships are different. But the woman understands that this man is going to work. He's providing the food on the plate. So we're going to give him the food on the plate first. But as a husband, he says, these are my child. This is my family, my responsibility. I need to make sure that they eat. So he'll step to the side. And a lot of times that's the mentality with a married couple. But what you'll see on these posts, you'll see a lot of single people comment on that. You know, and I don't blame a single woman if it's just her and her child. She has to look out for her child first. You know, that's what she does. She's looking out for her child. So her comment is going to reflect that. You know what I'm saying? But if it's a single man who don't have a woman, you know what I'm saying? He's like, this woman gonna respect me and they gonna give me my stuff first. So that's what I see. But as for me and my own, you know, I love it when my woman fix my stuff first. But I usually sit down and just wait for everybody to eat. And so we can say the prayer and eat together.
I just wait for everybody to eat so he can eat the rest of it.
So I get the leftovers. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody to get everything they need. So I play
we got a comment. My Nala Malife says the husband is the head of the household. He brings the bacon to the table. Why shouldn't he eat first? A man of the house is going to make sure there's enough for everybody.
So let me tell you, if you would ever take an ethics course, it would tell you that you don't eat until everybody has food and ready to eat at the same time. Okay. That's what that ethics course tells you. All right. So me, as I'm dating, right? I'm a single mom, but I'm dating. Even when I cook and have everybody over, I set the table completely. Then I call everybody to the table. Okay. But there were times when I fixed his plate first, but he said, hey, make sure the kids eat. Let's make sure they taken care of first, you know? But to your point, Sly, he is somebody who once was in a marriage, you know? So he sees that. So the difference between here is I definitely understand where the comment comes from. The man is the head of the house. Sure, absolutely. I don't take that from it as well. But I also think it's whatever works for your household. Whatever works for y'all. Do whatever works for you. Because sometimes we could get so into what this person thinks, what this person thinks, what the world thinks here, what the world thinks here. But that may not necessarily work for your house. Do whatever works great in your household. You know, whatever is healthy. We always talk about healthy relationships. If that's healthy, that he eats first, hell, let me eat first. If it's healthy that the kids eat first, let them eat first. Whatever that works for you in your house, whatever works for y'all.
Yeah, now real life stuff is people got a lot of stuff going on. Like it's probably, I say with my family, 85% of the time, everybody's just getting some food when they can get some food because we ripping and running. Everybody got practice, this and that. You know what I'm saying? It's 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock before everybody get home and settle in. So I mean, it ain't really like though. I'm sitting down, everybody's sitting down at the table, and we all eating together type thing. So you know, like it's all kind of different situations.
Yeah, me and Sly divorced. You know, since they always like to throw me under the bus. Me and Sly divorced. So, but as even though I'm single, I always just make sure my son eats first, or whatever kids around, whether it's your kids, Sly kids. I just make sure the kids eat first. And whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because I know their little stomachs be hurting. I hear them come in school. Stomach be growling 7:30 in the morning, so I know they be hungry. So I just let them eat, and whatever's left, I'll make a way, man. But I don't think it has anything to do with being married, divorced. Like y'all say, whatever works for you.
Yeah.
I
Do
don't
what
know,
works
man.
for you. Don't do what works for somebody else's household. Because you can't, your household might not function the way Quanna household functioned, her family, Chance and his family, and Sly and his family. You have to do what's gonna keep your family happy.
Right.
Family stomach.
Yeah, buddy.
That's a tough one, man. That's it. I don't know, man. I think a lot of it depends on your household, man. It depends on your household. But as for me and my household, I love the respect that comes with fixing my my plate first. But I make sure everybody else eats. You know what I'm saying? I make sure everybody else eats.
That's right.
So
yeah, because Sly, if you should let somebody else fix your plate.
Say what now?
You should let somebody else fix your plate, because we know it ain't gonna be much left when you finish.
Well, my only requirement, though, I ain't gonna lie, my only requirement, I get the big piece of chicken. Nah, I ain't gonna do it. If I'm the one making the money, you know what I'm saying? I'm paying for this dinner. You ain't gonna stick me over with no drumstick and call it a night. God damn it, you better give me the breast, and we'll work everything else out from there.
So are y'all the type that needs for your wife to cook multiple times a week, or are you a family that eat out multiple times a week?
Well, I'm a cook.
Okay.
I like cooking, but it all depends. It's people. We live in a modern world. People got jobs. People got jobs. You know what I'm saying? And when I grew up, my dad worked, and when my mom had a job until she got pregnant with my little sister. My little sister 9 years younger than me, and my mom stopped working until my sister turned 7. So it was dinner on the table when my dad got home every day, because my mom ain't had no job.
Your mom ain't had no job.
My mom was a housewife. So that's how I grew up.
South Carolina housewives.
We ain't had no money.
Hey, boy, y'all tripping.
They handed out a can of applesauce, so there wasn't no apple. That's the only credit. So South Carolina.
Hey, but on the real though, man, I don't think there's time, and like you said, the modern world now, to cook every day. I mean, I don't want you cooking every day.
I'm gonna throw it in the crock pot in the morning. You know what I'm saying?
Right, let it sit. But as long as we have something to eat every day, and the kids are fed, and everything is, I don't care about you cooking every day. I'm like Sly. I like to cook too, so I don't mind, whipping up a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for them and a bag of chips. That's gourmet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's gourmet. That's gourmet. Some oodles and noodles with sausage in it. All of
you put some Grey Poupon. You put some Grey Poupon on it.
Oh, they make it fancy. They get a little. Hey, they get Grey Poupon. Do you mind passing the Grey Poupon? But I like to cook too, so I think that should be shared. But I just don't think there are gender roles like it used to be.
Right.
The mom cooks and vacuums. The dad does all the nailing. I think it's just everybody works together just to, to make the family go.
Yeah.
Because there's gonna be times to where I may fall on hard times. I just hope, the woman that I'm with, I hope she can hold me down until I get, shake back and get on my feet. You know what I'm talking about?
I mean, sometimes you have working women who, they bringing in a lot of cheese these days, and they can't necessarily get home in time enough to get that meal cooked every night.
But my thing is, when I was married, it was like whoever got home first. Did the cooking. That's basically what came down.
Hey, Sloppy, like I got overtime tonight.
See, I never get to cook until the springtime because I'm always getting home late from football game, football practice. Then I go right to basketball, which I get home later. So it's springtime. I'm a springtime cook. You know,
Okay.
I need my bay leaves. You know what I'm saying? My cumin.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie though, man. Hey, when you really sit back and think about it, buying some food is just as expensive as going to the fast food restaurant or getting something from an actual restaurant, getting it to go. Like,
Man,
it's cheap.
eating
cheap.
healthy.
not that much.
Boy,
Shoot, not these days.
Nah, it's still cheaper, man. You know, you can make you can make a meal of spaghetti for under $10.
I mean, if you want to buy something good, say the thing like you want to go to a restaurant and you buy a certain steak and a vegetable and all that stuff. You go buy a steak at the grocery store, it's just as much as the steak that's already cooked. You know, y'all gotta look that up. Now, if you go and buy some oodles and noodles and spaghetti and stuff like that, yeah, okay. But a real meal that you really like or something like that, that's a difference. Like this stuff expensive out here. This inflation crazy.
everything expensive, man. You try to eat healthy. All these vegans and all these, man, that stuff expensive, man.
Yeah, it costs to be healthy.
I'm telling you. And we could tell you ain't trying to be healthy.
Hey, man, it is what it is, bro.
Shoulders and head taking up the whole block.
You right. Which head you talking about?
Huh?
Which head you talking about? Both of them.
Remember, I was in the locker room with you for 3 years, so don't make me go there.
Know the legend true.
Hey, don't make me
true.
Don't make me go there, small fry.
Hey,
That's your locker room nickname. I ain't nothing to that.
You call me ugly all the time, but I always manage to have quite a few women. It ain't cause my looks.
You need to wipe some of that stuff off his beard. That's probably what it is.
that get him too. that get
Wait a minute.
How much money you got? Because sometimes it's
broke.
He lying. He broke not because he spent so much back then.
Nah, it's because he paying that child support and ain't gonna buy them shoes too.
He ain't said none of them shoes yet, ain't it, boy?
If you would have bought them shoes.
I got you. Don't worry about it. Boy,
You had a little change.
You know, Daddy don't wear Jordans, but I'll get you some.
I'm seeing too much laughter in the chat. There's too many LOLs and smiley faces going on in the chat. We want to check that. But
boy, you stupid.
But check this, man. We getting close to it. We getting close to the edge, man. What we like to do, Jaquana, when we get close to the edge, close to the end, we like to take a trip down the 90s block.
She wasn't born in the 90s.
Huh?
She barely was born in the 90s.
She barely
what are you talking about?
You barely made it.
What are you talking about?
Never would have made it.
this right here.
I was born before the 90s.
This might go over her head.
But you legally blind.
We get some of our people out in the crowd. Some of our people in the chat can help Jaquana out on this one.
Yeah, where my Fairfield people at? Irvin Mack and all them.
The 90s block right here. We're gonna compare the Boomerang soundtrack versus Waiting to Exhale soundtrack.
Okay.
Boomerang soundtrack versus the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack. Now, for those of you who need a refresher, we're gonna pull it up on the screen for you.
I need one.
We're gonna pull it up on the screen. This is Boomerang. You give me my heart.
Honey Braxton.
Yep. It's gonna be all right.
End of the road was on that.
Aaron Hart and Charlie Wilson. Tonight is right. Key White. I don't remember that one. I Die Without You, PM Don. I know y'all remember that one. 7 Day Weekend. I don't know that one. End of the Road. Boys to Men. One of the greatest songs of all time. Reversal of the Dog. Love Should Have Brought You Home.
Oh, love should have brought you. I felt
that caused some feelings in it. You caught some feelings over that thing.
That's her she.
That's short hair
right
Tony
there.
Braxton
Woo,
right there.
that's that Tony. That's that true Tony right there.
Oh, tell me why. You gotta close your eyes when you sing that. You gotta close your eyes when you sing that song.
Hey, now throw that wait to exhale up there.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Here you go,
Yeah,
by
for
Johnny
sure.
Gill.
Yeah, let him finish. Let him
Here you
finish.
go, telling me lies. Shanice, Feels Like Heaven by Kenny Vaughn, and Hot Sex by Tribe Called Quest. Now, waiting to exhale on the other side. Exhale, shoot. Why does it hurt so bad? Another short hair Tony Braxton, Let It Flow.
Let it flow. Yeah.
Hurts Like Hell, Aretha, sitting up in my room with Brandy.
In my room.
This is how it works. And then Mary J, Not Gonna Cry.
Man, that right there took everything on Boomerang.
And they got what that kissing you is. Oh no, that's Faith
I'm
Evans.
going down the list, dude. Go down the list.
I'm excited.
My Funny Valentine, and I Gave My Love to You, All Night Long, SWV, Way You. I don't remember that.
Way You is Way You, son. Way You. Like where you at? Where you at?
My Love, Sweet Love, Patti LaBelle, Kissing You by Faith.
Well, that touch chance.
Love.
I thought it was total. I thought it was total kissing. Bro.
Yeah, you were totally.
That's
You were
Faith.
totally.
That's a long time ago.
And How Could You Call Her Baby? And Count on Me by Whitney Houston and Baby. And CeCe Winans.
I'm going with Waiting to Exhale just because Not Gonna Cry.
Yeah.
Me too.
Just because I'm Not Gonna Cry.
But it seemed like to me, Boomerang had more hits though, dog.
I don't know, man.
But
Boomerang had some hits.
Mary.
Oh man,
Hurt Mary was
anything.
Hurt
Mary
was in pain. That was
Listen, Mary going through a crazy divorce now. I'm interested to see what she's getting ready to come out with after this right here.
Mary going through something.
Yeah.
I don't know. She might need some cocaine too, though. We might need to get a hook back on drugs.
No.
Don't do Mary like that.
No, come on, Sly. You know better than that.
Mary and KC together, when them two was the problem couple.
No.
The best music in the world right there, man.
Oh, man, get on, man. Who you got, Chance?
I'm going with Waiting to Exhale too, man.
Y'all got me 3-1 on that one.
3-1, so you outvoted, so shut your mouth.
I'm outvoted, man. But hey, anyway, you can't go wrong with neither one of them soundtracks, man. Both of them.
I agree.
Great movies, great soundtracks, both of them. All right, man. Hey, it's been another fantastic episode of the Rip 28 podcast, man. It's a podcast. Well, wait a minute. Well, let's get some. We got to get out of here, man. El Presidente, you got anything to say before we get out of here?
Hey, man. Hey, JJ, Quanna Jackson. Hey, nice to have you. Hey, she was a great guest. Only thing wrong, she went to Fairfield Central. God.
I couldn't agree more.
Hey, you know what I found out? People in Columbia rep their high schools harder than anything, but then we rep college harder than anything. So I just realized that.
Y'all don't even go to college. You the only one out there that know they ever went to college.
Don't do that.
Hey, they go. They just don't stay long. They got one semester.
That's right.
They got one semester so they can say, "Boy, I was a college athlete. Boy, I was tough back in my day."
But Sly and Ron dropped out in 11th grade, so they didn't finish high school.
Well, still represent family.
Baby. All right, Bron, you got anything to say before we get out of here, Bron?
Man, I thought we had a good show up until we had to talk about Fairfield Central, man. But I want to thank my homegirl, Jaquana Jackson. Miss Jackson, if you're nasty, thank you for taking time out your busy day to come and kick it with the guys. You were great. We appreciate you.
All right, Jaquana, you got anything you want to say before you get out of here?
Man, thanks for having me. It was a cool experience. I think y'all should have me back whenever you feel the need to. I appreciate being on. Still shout outs to the Griffins and all my Spelman sisters who's watching.
Tell them to like, subscribe, and share this thing, Quanna.
Okay, y'all like, subscribe, and share. Y'all heard LB.
Yeah, tell your homies and tell a homie.
Well, this has been another great episode of the RIP 28 podcast, man. This is a podcast where a few friends get together and we talk about a few things. Now, some of those things you might like, some of those things you might not like, but we keep on talking about them on the RIP 28 podcast. And before we get out here, I want to give a public service announcement, a health announcement to all the women and men out there who listen to the show. Doctors have proven that there's a special protein and enzyme inside of the male semen. So women, give them a blowjob, save a life. I'm out. We'll see you next week on the RIP 28 podcast. I love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you into me, hope you understand I am not your enemy, nor will I